Okay, so back again with more progress on the marbles mod. I mean, you can already see what progress I'm probably going to talk about, which is the visuals. So usually in development, I wouldn't be hitting this stage just yet with a project. I would go through, get all the content going, get it about roughly where I like it, and then throw some stuff in here. But then I was like, you know what? Before I get too far in and don't know how to get the visuals working, let's go ahead and knock the visuals out. So for the most part, if I can switch back to my main monitor and pray it actually works. Will it work? Yes, it does work. So here's how I've modeled this. It's using Blockbench. Have not used the software in a while, so it's not super impressive, but we throw in some very generic colors in here, put it in the middle of the cube, made it transparent, and got it to render. Took me a bit of fighting to figure out how to do rendering, but the part, in case anybody else wants to do this in their own mods, you just need to change the render type. I have this doing Itemidity Translution Call. There are so many different types in here. I have no idea what any of them do. And I'm probably going to be messing with them for a while because I quite haven't got the renders where I would personally prefer them to look like. They're kind of a little weird. They look more ghosty than anything else. And you can definitely see some unusual artifacting in the tops. But when it comes to mods, this is kind of cool because when I used to mod for 1.7.10, like way back before we got like the JSON models and everything else, when you wanted to do something like this, you had to get crafty. You usually had to trick Minecraft into doing like 2 render passes if it was a block, and then for entities, took a little bit more work to kind of get the translution effect and make it function where it was believable. Because this is believable enough, although if you really pay attention, you'll notice you can see through the top of this, but you don't see the further 2 sides. So this is something that I do want to work on. I do want to kind of see if I can trick it into double rendering. Because usually what you would do in an actual game engine, instead of making more geometry for you to render, you would just tell it to invert the UVs and render them again. It saves a lot of time. But yeah, these do work. Physics still good. And they look really nice. They kind of look like weird crystallized XP orbs rather than what I'm intending to. I'm going to have to match the colors of this guy for the default stock orbs, and then just go through and start adding a bunch of textures. We're going to get to the point where I'm probably going to have Kinsey, who's the person, my girlfriend I'm working on with this mod, I'm going to probably have her try to work on all the textures while I can still focus on doing a lot of the physics and gameplay. But from this perspective, oh my god, they just look so beautiful. I got that transparent, almost glass-like look, and if we go find, let me go find a random image of marbles. And just kind of compare these. And try not to get myself copyright blasted on videos, because that'd be kind of fun. Okay, back to main monitor. And here's what we're looking for. So this is kind of what I want to shoot for with the visuals. You'll have stuff kind of more or less like this, where you have these different colors, and I don't think I'm going to get the exact impression you would get with marbles like this, simply because that little piece right there, that kind of makes it like the cat eye, which is what they were kind of called, goes almost all the way through it, which for a marble like this would be a little tricky, especially since I don't really want to do too much animation with these. I might actually make the inside spin a little bit to give you a sense of movement, because right now, if you weren't knowing that these are marbles, you would more think they're kind of ice cubes with stuff stuck in them moving around, which is a bit of a problem when you're talking about getting somebody used to the, what's the word for it? Because there actually is a concept where video games where it's like sense of disbelief or something like that. You want to remove that concept and make them like think this is the real thing that would be moving around in the world. Which, you know, for Minecraft is not that big of a deal, but right now these are kind of basically ice cubes with colors in them. And I don't know if I want to fix that. Because we are in a voxel-like blocky, I don't even call it voxel, because technically voxel is the wrong word for it. It is a block-based game, almost like Legos. Where you just have this thing, and having that concept that it is basically just glass sliding around the ground feels more realistic than saying these are marbles. I'm going to have to think on that more, and I'll get back to you guys.